coming up.
I would say that the reason why marriages are failing is not because of partnership, it's because of lack of communication.
Really?
And being
Oh,
figure
I
out how
understand.
we can meld.
I know what's wrong right now.
Oh no.
Men don't feel like being a man is a role. They're not playing a role. And I think women think that that's what they're doing. Men are naturally doing what they do. It's in their nature to lead, to be the president, to protect their families, to provide for the families. And I think women think that the men are playing a role because women try to be that way too. And in order for a woman to be like a man, she has to play a role. But men are not playing a role. That's who they are. Welcome to the Fallen State. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Relationships are like junk mail. You get it, you hold on to it for a while, and then you throw it away. I have an expert with me to help us to understand how to get involved in a relationship and make it work. My guest today has been featured on E!, Good Morning America, The Today Show, and much more. I have with me dating and empowerment coach, Laura House. Laura, thank you so much for being with me.
You're welcome.
Do you agree with me that most relationships are like junk mail today?
I would say that it actually starts before the relationship begins. And a lot of that is because of dating apps, online dating, and this style of abundance, plenty of fish in the sea. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go out with another one and see what happens. Even
That's right.
I'm 39, and when I was in high school, when I had a crush on a guy, we would spend hours on the phone. People aren't doing that. People have become lazy daters, and because of that, they are getting into disposable relationships.
When I was growing up, we didn't need a coach for dating.
Yeah.
You know, we just go out and date.
Yeah.
And we learn as we do, and if it's not the right person, you move on, and no big deal, and we just live that way. What happened to people that they lost that?
Because there is so much coming at us now. There's so much around us. There's so much opportunity. There is a bigger, better, more person, not even around the corner, but right next to you. So we've gotten to this place of emotional abundance that makes it so that we are outside of ourselves and not allowing ourselves to check in and be honest about who we are, what we feel, what we need. And whereas when you were dating and there weren't 500 people at, arm's length or on Facebook or Instagram or Tinder or wherever, back then you didn't have access to so much stuff. So you had to be right here now. And so many people don't know how to be here now.
That is so true.
It's what's next? I want my career goal is there. I don't know how to be happy in right now and what I have. I want this relationship. I want this body. We're all looking up and over and not, but how am I right now?
So is it a mistake that we have online dating rather than people just meeting each other by being out or introduced by someone else? Is it a mistake to go online to pick a date?
Not at all. Online and app dating definitely has its place because people aren't leaving their homes as often as we used to, right? You used to go to the market to buy just milk. Now we don't. So unless you're sitting here hoping that the mailman comes and they are your match, we oftentimes don't have any access to people. So being online or on an app, it allows you to be exposed to people who you might not normally have run into. That being said, you need to take control of the app or online site and allow yourself to date substantively.
I read that you have a child, right?
I do.
Is it a boy or girl?
I have a 2-year-old son.
Really?
Yeah.
And so you've been married before?
So I have been married and divorced twice. I was married at 21 because my parents were married at 21 and they're happily married and I wanted that fairy tale. I didn't do the work that I should have done in order to find out if this person was actually right for me long term. We were divorced within 6 months.
Wow.
And then I was remarried at 23 because I still wanted that fairy tale. He proposed within 3 months. Again, I didn't do the work. I didn't have the conversations. I didn't have the tools to really understand if this person was right for me. We were married for 3.5 years. And I've since been proposed to 7 times, so a total of 9 times.
7 times?
Yeah.
Why are they proposing? So many men are proposing to you.
I think because I present in a way that is, I don't know why they're proposing, but I can guess because I am confident and simultaneously I'm feminine and I believe in gender roles and I believe in lifting up my man and simultaneously him lifting me up, and we can both be on pedestals holding hands in the middle. So my son came from a relationship that I was with. I was dating him. We were together for several months. We ended up realizing after needs-based conversations and being really clear with each other that we weren't working. We broke up, and then I found out I was pregnant.
Wow.
So I've been a single mom from the moment that I found out that I was pregnant, and it's been a journey. It's definitely not my fairy tale.
Do you still want to be married?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
I absolutely believe in marriage. I believe that you can have a healthy, happy relationship and marriage that is enduring and lifelong as long as you do the work. Because marriages do take effort.
Right.
Especially with all of these other things coming in. Communication is so essential.
Yes. And honesty as well.
Honest, absolutely.
Yeah.
And owning and honesty to yourself first, right? That's where the
start
integrity
with you.
comes in.
That's right.
Yeah, be honest with you. What do I need?
So let me ask, out of the 7 other men who was proposed to you, not one in there fit what you're looking for?
You know, it's what I realized was they were in many ways mirrors of who I was at the time. It was right after my second marriage. I wasn't in a healthy, complete, whole place. Men were coming in and thinking, I can complete her. And then after a while, I didn't like feeling like half a person who was completed by someone else.
Amazing. Are you a difficult woman to live with, to date and to live with, to marry?
No, I don't feel
You're
that
not
I
difficult?
am. No, I don't feel that I am.
Would the men say that you are?
I would think some men who don't have their own identity really intact would view me as difficult. I am, if you see my YouTube videos, I have a big personality.
Right.
I'm in your face. My clients I'm tough with. I'm known for no games, no couching, no BS. Like, I'm push at you. Personally though, I'm very different. I'm very tender and nurturing with my son. I'm very soft. In a relationship, I actually prefer my man to be the one who is out there and outspoken. I'm an introvert. And people don't believe that when they see who I am online, but that is a very specific side of me that I put out for public consumption because I've been hurt. And I've been hurt in relationships, and more than that, I've been hurt publicly. I've been hurt by when I put out a YouTube video and people just shred me for my opinion or who I am, and I had to make the decision to put out a very specific side. So when people are shredding Laurel, well, they're shredding that Laurel.
So you would say you're not difficult to live with?
I would say I'm not difficult to live with.
Said that you were an independent, tough woman. What is that exactly?
That is someone who is very strong-minded and has a hard time folding under someone else's opinion.
So why would a man want to marry a woman like that? Because men look for women that are ready to be a wife, they want to be a mother, they understand the order of life and that the man is the head of the woman, and they don't want to have to be fighting this strong-willed woman.
Well, I would say that a man doesn't necessarily want to be the head of a woman.
You say he does not?
Does not.
Why
I would say that men and women are equal and different. And I might be the head in some ways, and he might be the head in some ways.
But that doesn't work.
I also am a provider.
That doesn't work because in any company, whether it's a family or friendships or businessships, no such word, I don't think. But there's always the president and the vice president, and the woman is the vice president in a family. And so if you don't have the president guiding the vice president and the children, it's not going to work.
I feel like it's a partnership. So it's
But men don't see it that way, though.
Many men do see it that way. And it's not, there is that mentality and there is that type of man who doesn't see it that way. And I wouldn't say that that is across the board. I'm a born and bred West Angelino. I'm from Los Angeles. My dad is from Los Angeles. The mentality here is, I feel, a little bit more forward thinking, with the woman being more of a partner.
But that's never going to work, though. That's why a lot of relationships are not working, because they are partners. So I hear a lot of men and women using that word, partner, but it's not going to work unless you do it the right way. Wouldn't you agree?
I would say that the reason why marriages are failing is not because of partnership, it's because of lack of communication.
Really?
And being very clear on what you feel, what you need, and communicating your needs on both ends. So there's too much assumption. There's too much, well, this is my role and that's what I'm going to do and you just have to deal with it, instead of, this is how I'm feeling and this is what I would like your role to be, and you're really great at this role and I'm really great at this role, and let's figure out how we can meld.
I know what's wrong right now.
Oh no.
Men don't feel like being a man is a role. They're not playing a role. And I think women think that that's what they're doing. Men are naturally doing what they do. It's in their nature to lead, to be the president, to protect their families, to provide for the families. And I think women think that the men are playing a role because women try to be that way too. And in order for a woman to be like a man, she has to play a role. But men are not playing a role. That's who they are.
Well, no, because men, they do have the inclination and desire to lead, yes. And they do want to be the provider in that caveman style, definitely. And there are also women who want to lead and are very capable of leading and can lead and do it as successfully, and sometimes, many times more successfully than a man. She just does it differently. We have different men and women, as I said, we are equal. We're just different.
In what way are men and women different? I know emotionally, women are emotional, men are not. Men are natural born leaders, women are not. What ways do you see men and women as being different?
I wouldn't create those firm lines between women are emotional, men are not. And I think that in saying that, it's actually continuing to create those gender lines. Men can be emotional creatures. They are trained not to be. They are trained to not voice their feelings, to not voice their emotions. I know as a mother of a 2-year-old, I see my son being a very emotional person.
Wow.
I see him as...
Men who are emotional are weak men.
That is
and
not
women
true.
Women don't like weak men like that, because it's like being with another woman.
Yeah,
and so,
totally disagree with you.
You know
my son is not in any capacity a weak man.
But if
at
he's
2
emotional,
years old, he is anything but a weak man.
But that's abnormal for him to be emotional
not at all.
at 2.
It's just not trained to be something different. Children are who they are energetically. They are love. They are kind. They are understanding, they are learning. We treat them and train them to be very certain types of people and put them in a specific lane. I have dated men who are non-emotional and just always on in their critical head. And I've also worked with a lot of men who are that, and they so crave to be able to just drop their shoulders sometimes and be.
That's amazing.
And feel and say, you know what? I had a really hard day today, and I'd like to have someone who can be there for me.
But you would not want a man like that, would you?
Absolutely, I would.
You want a man that would want you to be there for him because he has such a hard day. Life is so rough, and you need to be there for him.
I wouldn't want that to be who he is. Everything is always bummer, everything is always hard, and he wouldn't want to be with a woman who everything was always hard. That's just not an energy that anyone wants.
That's so disappointing. You know, what I'm hearing, and that's why I really want you here, because I watch you saying you're so smart. What I'm hearing is that for some reason, society has lost what a man is. A man is not someone who is pretending to be a man. A man is not someone who even knows that he's carrying a heavy load. It's not like it's natural for men to be men. A man is love. That's why women are drawn to men, because they get their love from the man. And so when she can't get that love from the man, which is unemotional, it's really logic, it's wisdom, it's understanding, it's compassion. And when a woman can't get that from the man, she's out there looking to get it from someone else, because she's disappointed in a man who lacks real love, unemotional love.
Unemotional
real love is the light unto your feet. And so the man is by him being the head of the woman, he's the light unto her. He shows her the right way to go. He helps her to overcome the hell that she's going through with her emotions. And that's not happening anymore, because they have redefined manhood, and men don't know how to get it back, because their parents have failed them, as fathers have failed, mothers have taken away their masculinity. You find that to be true?
No.
You don't?
No.
Do you? No, go ahead.
I find that men can, yes, be the light for a woman, and a woman can be the lightness for a man. And that is where the offering their own talents comes together. Love, by definition, is emotion. Love is opening the heart. Love is feeling.
But that's body-to-body love. That's not real love.
No, that's not sex love. That is emotional love. That's feeling. That's opening your heart and actually being able to, as I talked about before, check in with yourself of, how am I feeling? Am I angry? So why am I angry? What's the underlying emotion out of anger? Is it fear? Is it feeling attacked? So it's actually allowing yourself to check in and be present with the emotion. But that's not,
real men don't have that. Men who are in a fallen state have that. Anytime a man get angry about something, or judge you about something, or weak about something, if you don't agree with them, they're mad and acting all weird. That's a woman's nature. That's not the nature of a man. A man's nature, natural born nature, is solid. It's never moved or interrupted by the outer environment, because it's solid love that comes from his creator. And so, but a man that's got to check himself, he's all emotional, is a woman. He has his mother's identity and not his father's identity, which is the real deal.
That's just not true.
Right, it's not happening today, but it used to be true. At one time in life, it was true.
Then those were men who were actually acting and playing the role of man, and not allowing themselves to be present in the here now.
I totally understand why you feel that way, but I want you to know it's not true. But I understand, because that's what you have seen, and that's what's happening now. You have so many pathetic men that's all you know, so I understand.
So I guess we can agree to disagree, because honestly, I can't engage in that conversation anymore, because I agree with completely disagree.
I understand that. I agree with you that I might even say that most men are emotional today, but it's wrong for them to be that way. It's not their natural state of being. But yes, I do agree that they are like that, and they're girly men. Men who are emotional are girly men. They're not the real deal. And so I do agree.
Okay, that's where we disagree, though. Okay. So I don't want to continue that line of conversation anymore, because it's just not going to be productive.